Am I audible and you could see my screen here? Okay, now I'm making you the chat as everyone, guys. So whatever the questions you put, it will be for everyone. Okay, thanks for confirming. So let me open our software, Sublime. Okay, so let us see the folder structure. Let me create a folder for us today. September 24th. Okay, so what are the content we are discussing yesterday? I think in the last class we were looking into the concept of CSS classes, right? Now we are very much clear how do we create multiple CSS classes and how do we define a CSS classes and how do we inject a class to the HTML element, HTML tag, and what do you mean by style tag, and what are the advantage we can get with your CSS classes, and how do we create a class using your how do you create a class using the element ID? Those things we had a look into yesterday. Hope everyone is clear and hope you got chance to practice on this. Yes, guys? Okay, Bharat, you have facing a small issue. Okay, maybe Bharat at the last I can take all the questions and I can help you on it. Okay. So no one else is having any questions on the top? Okay, good. So today, before, okay, the another way of giving a tag definition, another way of giving the CSS classes using the tag name, we'll have a look on that. Okay. So first of all, we'll go with something called, till now, what are the different ways we could able to define the CSS here? What all? Okay, now I give an option to unmute yourself, guys. So what are the different
Three ways.
CSS class, ID based classes.
We have seen something called as inline CSS. We have seen something
Class.
called class-based CSS, and we have seen
ID based.
Okay. Now, what is the another way of defining a CSS here? Okay. So now, if you clearly see the code here, okay, this is the piece of code. Let me have a copy of this guy. Okay, I already copied this, and when you render this content, this is how it is getting rendered. If you see here, every heading tag is going to have the same type of look and feel. Yes or no? This is a heading tag, the H3 tag. This is a H3 tag. This is H. I mean, the yellow bar, whatever it is, it is H3 tag here. Now, what I say is, if the every H3 tag within the current page is having the same type of look and feel, why the reason you are going with a separate class called as news title? Okay, what are we doing here? We are going with a separate class called as news title. Now we are doing a job of taking a memory of the class and we are even injecting the particular class to the particular element. Now what we are saying is, why don't I simply say that every H3 tag should have the same set of CSS properties? Now what I'm doing is, we are not going to give the class name here. We can simply give the tag name here. I simply say H3 something like this. Now when I say H3, it indicates that within the current web page, anytime you have the H3 tag, automatically apply all these properties. Okay, in a single page, anytime you see the H3 tag, you automatically apply these set of properties. Okay. Now what I can do is, another thing is,
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, I actually joined the class today, sir, because I did pay the fee today. Sir, I missed the sir previous class. Then sir, will you send the sir demo class of all link all previous classes, sir.
Yeah, sure, Gulshan.
Till yesterday.
Yeah, sure, Gulshan. Actually, you have contact of Mr. Ramesh, right? Admin Ramesh.
Yeah.
Okay, even in our also in our
Yes, sir.
Telegram group also he is there. Please ping him. He has the link of all the video link demo classes. He should help you. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yesterday class also, sir.
That is what I meant.
Yesterday class also, sir.
I'm not sure. That is what actually regarding the videos and all. He is the admin who will be helping us. So you tell the reason, he should be able to help you. Okay.
And sir, where you will get the note, because I also joined the see classes. Okay, sir.
Gulshan,
Then
your voice is
actually Kishore sir used to send.
Gulshan, somehow your voice is not clear.
Still, right now, sir, my voice clear.
It is okay. Yeah, go ahead. What is your
Actually,
question?
I'm talking, sir. Yeah. Will you provide the notes, sir, of every classes, whatever classes will be going
already
on?
shared, Gulshan. I mean, in the GitHub, the code is already shared, and people started making use of it.
Actually, I did not know the code, so.
Okay, fine, no problem.
Kindly, sir, paste once again, sir.
Sure, I'll do that. Before closing the class, I will show you how do we access. In fact, like today, I'm going to show how do you access the GitHub code into your local machine. So in that time, I'm going to show you how do you access the notes for that. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, fine.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So coming to this, guys, what I'm saying is earlier we are taking a class name, then you are defining the set of CSS properties. But now what I'm doing is instead of class name, we are directly using the tag name itself here. I'm saying that, boss, wherever you see the H3 tag, you simply apply these properties. Now, on the top of this, here, we are not going to mention any operator here. Earlier, we were using dot operator to mention that it as a class. We were mentioning the hash operator to mention it as a ID-based class. But if it is a tag-based, we don't need to mention. We don't need to mention any operator here. Simply H3, whatever it is. And not only H3, guys. Say, for example, if I say P tag, every P tag will have this properties. If I say something called as body tag, if I say ABC tag. So every tag is capable of giving a CSS3 property, CSS property, something like this. Now, when I'm saying H3,
it should be tag name, or we can give any our own.
Only the tag name. Okay. So now when I'm giving the tag name here, now what is the advantage here? You don't need to specifically mention a class here. We don't need to specifically mention. Earlier, we were going with every H3 tag. Now we are going to add we have added this class called as title. Now I don't need to do this. I can simply go here and I can remove this. I have only the tag name. That's it. Now, if you save this guy, come back here, right click on this, open in the browser, you see it is having the same type of look and feel. But the advantage what you have is, if you go into the source code, we are not wasting our memory by taking a separate class name. Okay, super fine. That is good. But do you recommend? Now, in that case, what you will see? Okay, boss, if there is a paragraph tag, right? Why you are defining a class called as news content? Instead, you can directly say that it is a P tag. Automatically, every P tag will have the same type of look and feel. But you know, it is not recommended to go with the tag-based CSS. It is not recommended to define a class using the tag name. Why the reason? Because whenever you go with the tag name, say for example, H3, you have added something like this. Okay. Later, you are adding some employee details in the page. Okay. Employee details, you are about to add it. There also you are using H3 in order to show the employee something called as list here. Now, if you come back here and reload the page, not this guy. When I reload the page, do you see the employee list is also getting the same type of look and feel as like the news item? Obviously, yes. This is the problem what I have. Now what I say is, boss, I was about to use the H3 for showing some employee details, which will be having some different look and feel. But the problem what we have added is, everywhere there is a H3 tag. Doesn't matter what you are using for. You might be using for the news item, you might be using for the student details, employee details, product details, whatever it could be. But as you mentioned as a H3 tag, what the browser will do throughout the application, wherever they find H3, these all properties will be applied. That is the reason tag based CSS are not recommended, because today you have written the piece of code. You have simply used the H3. Tomorrow, someone else is coming. He is going to work on the same piece of code. He is writing some extra information. He might use the same H3 tag. Now he will say that, why the hell I'm getting the same type of look and feel here? When I'm using H3, it doesn't mean that every H3 should have the same look and feel, right? So that is the reason it is always recommended, go with a class. When you define a class, now if you see here, you are defining the class. If the user wants the same look and feel, he will take the class name. If you don't want it, he will still go with the same tag, but don't use the class name. That is how you are getting benefited by using the class names here. So it is always recommended, either you go with the class name or you go with the ID based, but don't go with the inline CSS and the tag based CSS. Okay. But now if I ask you a question, what all are the total different ways we could able to apply CSS to the HTML tags? Can you tell me how many?
4.
There are 4 different tags. What are those 4? Inline
In CSS class, ID based class, and tag based.
Okay. So this is a very good interview question, guys. In the interview, they might be asking you a question, what are the different ways and what all are not recommended to make use of it? Okay, what all are the CSS which is not recommended to make use of it? Then you need to say it is tag based, ID based. If they ask you, boss, what is the why it is not recommended, then you should able to answer that.
Sir, why tag base is not used, sir?
Ma'am, I give the explanation, right? When I say tag based, are you not clear with my explanation, guys?
Can you please
Just
repeat
now
the
have
question
joined, sir.
again?
Just now have joined, sir.
Sorry, ma'am. Just now you joined.
Yes, sir.
Guys, if you're not talking, please come to mute.
Sir, can you please repeat the question?
Okay, 1 second. I'm just removing the people who are unnecessarily talking. I removed. Okay, fine. What was the question, ma'am?
Sir, why it is not recommended to use the tag name, sir?
Okay, if you see here, ma'am, as I said I was using H3, okay, in order to represent the news title. Okay, now later, I'm using the same H3 tag in order to work with the employee list. Is it not creating a problem? Now, if you see, why the hell my employee list is having the same type of reference? Now, when I say P tag, or when I say H3 tag, or when I say some other tag, we don't use one tag only for one. We might use the same tag for multiple purposes. So I don't want to make a, say for example, when I'm creating a web page, I have created this web page. I was using the H3, I'm creating the H3 based tag over here, tag based CSS. Now, when one of my colleague is coming and he's work on the same page, he might be using the same.
Sir, your voice is just low, sir.
Then in that case, is it not unnecessarily having the same type of look and feel for other elements also? Yes. To avoid that, it is not recommended to go with the tag based CSS. Okay. So when I say class based, the advantage is once you define a class, anyone who wanted it, he cannot say that why the hell are you getting this properties? If you don't want it, you don't use it. But in case of heading tag, doesn't matter whether he uses or not, he will be automatically getting the properties.
Okay,
Any
in
other-
class there is no option like that. If you want, then only we can put. Otherwise, we can't. We don't put.
Exactly, right? Now, if you see, for example, this guy wanted a class. Now I'm using the news content. Now you cannot come and say that, boss, why that properties are coming? Ma'am, if you don't want it, you don't use it. But that is not the case with your tag based.
Sir, why
Any more?
ID based tag not recommended?
ID is also recommended. ID and classes both are recommended, but
Okay.
tag based and name are not recommended. Because if you remember when I was talking about the ID based, we were talking about the advantage, right? Say for example, one guy is already having an ID and he want to have a separate class. We are not wasting the memory by going with a separate class name. We are making use of the existing ID itself to do the job. So that is the reason ID and classes are recommended. Tag based and inline are not recommended. Any more questions?
So what is the meaning of tag based? I understood inline.
Antishwar, I think your voice is not audible. Could you please a bit louder?
So what is the meaning of tag based?
Tag based means defining a CSS using the tag name. See here, I'm using the tag name directly to define a class. This is called as tag based. I'm using a class name to define the class. This is called as a class based. I'm using the ID to define the class. This is an ID based. I'm using the style attribute to define the class. That is a inline. Am I clear, Anteshwar?
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, if H3 is a
Once
child
more,
of
sir,
an
once more can you
parent tag.
say?
One second. Robin, please go ahead.
Sir, if H3 is a child of P tag, then it will be work.
H3 is a
If H3 is a child of P tag, then it CSS is
matter,
apply
right?
here.
Are we defining anything called as parent or children here? Have we defined anything called as it is a parent, then only you apply? No, right? I'm simply saying you are a H3 tag, then you have to get applied. Doesn't matter whether you are a parent, whether you are a children, whether you are a sibling.
Everywhere it will work.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Next. Any more
Sir?
questions? Go ahead.
Sir, hello.
Gulshan, somehow your voice is not audible. Can you please check your voice?
Hello, sir.
Sir,
Yes,
sir,
Suman, go ahead.
kindly
What you are saying?
explain the class, sir, as well as sir ID. Sir.
1 second, Gulshan. Suman, ma'am, what you are saying? Something?
Sir, can you please again explain that news content, that main page you told, no, hash that news item, that a tag based water, which you were saying just to the previous person, no, sir. Which is what?
Okay, you mean to say tag
That is
based?
a class attribute, yeah.
Okay, when, if you see here,
That is a tag based.
I'm going into that. So if you see here I'm using the tag name to define the class. This is called as tag based. Here I'm using the class name to define the class. This is called as a class based. I'm using the ID to define the CSS properties. This is called ID based. If I use a style attribute, that is called as inline based. 4 different ways of applying CSS. Okay. Hope you're clear, Suman.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sir,
Next.
one doubt. We can
Go ahead,
put
Banu.
the background property in the body tag.
We can put the background property in the body tag, obviously.
But I tried,
Okay.
it is not reflecting, sir.
You can do that.
Not,
Right? That day I have done that. Remember, I can simply say style equal to background, something called as red color.
But it is inline, sir. I am not asking the CSS, just HTML
Then-
level I am asking.
That is where the naming convention, you should be very much clear. You mean to say, you want to say that background as an attribute, right?
Yes, correct, sir.
So background is not an attribute, right? That is the reason it doesn't help. Background is a CSS property.
Okay.
ID is an attribute, class is an attribute. So those are attributes can be used, but it is not an attribute. So that is the reason it cannot be used.
Thank
Okay.
you, sir. Yeah,
Yeah.
clear.
So another thing, guys, now if you see here, sometimes it is recommended to go with the tag based. Sometimes it is recommended to go with the tag based. What are the times? If you know that that tag is getting only used once throughout the application, at that time you can go with the tag based. Now, can you tell me what is the tag which will be repeated only once throughout the application? What
Table?
is
Heading.
HTML? Next,
Paragraph heading.
head is there.
Body tag.
Body is also there. Anyway, for heading and HTML, we don't give the CSS, but for body, we can give the CSS. Earlier, we are wasting our memory by giving a class called as main page. Now, instead of main page, I will remove these tags. Can I simply say tag based? And what is the symbol I need to add if it is a tag based? What is the symbol you need to add?
No need to.
No need to add.
No need to add.
Right? If it is a tag based, you don't need to define any of the operator here. Now, I simply have this. I don't need to give any type of class here. So in this case, it is recommended you go with the tag based, because I'm sure that body cannot be used multiple times within the application. So instead of defining or instead of wasting my space by giving a separate class name for the body, for body tag, I can go with defining the CSS. Okay. This is very, very good topic, guys. Yes, go ahead.
Sir, what happens if we use different type heading tags?
What happens? That is different, right? You mean to say H2, H3, something like that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, obviously, if you use H2, it doesn't affect. Now, you can go with, if you want to have H2, then the tag name is completely different, right? That is having a different look and feel. Now, you need to go with H1 is different, H3 different. Now, I say H3 is defined something like this. At the bottom, you are using H2 tag to define your content. That is completely different. H2 will not get these properties. It will always check with the tag name. H1 to H6 is completely different when compared to H3. That is the reason it doesn't get applied. Okay. Next.
Thank you. Thanks.
Sir, the programming that we are writing in the like after style, we are writing H3 tag and all. This one we can give in the downward also, like when the programming is about to end.
Remember, Jay, yesterday I have already, not yesterday, someone asked this question: what is the location you can keep the style tag? Can anyone answer this question, guys? If I put a question, what is the location we can keep the style tag?
In the head tag or body tag, anywhere.
Exactly.
Anywhere.
So we can keep it anywhere, right? If you say that, no, boss, I want to keep the style tag before closing the body tag, please go ahead. It is recommended to keep in the top, but it's up to you wherever you can put it. Hope I'm clear, Jay?
Yeah, sir.
Yeah. Next.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Can you explain about type attributes, sir?
Okay. Type is a predefined attribute which actually specifies what type of content the tag is holding. Not every tag is going to have the attribute as type. It is being used for the style tag. It is being used for the script tag, something like that. So whenever you're adding some multiple content, if you see here, you should not say that boss body is a tag, right? Can I say that it's a type here? No, you don't need to specify. Those are tags. Anyway, HTML content you're adding. Anytime you are going to add any other than HTML, one tag is holding something else, then you have to specify the type. Say, for example, script tag. We are going to see the script tag sooner. Now, for the script tag, I need to say that I was about to write the JavaScript code here. In the same way, style is a tag. I'm writing other than HTML, I'm writing some CSS classes. Now, I need to say that what type of content this tag is holding. This tag is holding some piece of text information, which is of type CSS. And this is optional. You may give it or you may not give it, but still it will be showing the content, or still it will be executing the content as a CSS classes. It's an optional, recommended to keep it. Am I clear?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Next.
Apart from text/CSS, what and all we can give in that type as a value?
Right now, in the style tag, we can only give the text or CSS. That is the reason it is optional. If it would have been something else other than CSS, it would have been having a confusion what type I should consider. By default, anyway, I'm going to add the CSS. That is the reason it is an optional. But when you go with, there is something called as content type. like whenever we are going to see something called Ajax calls, right? When we are interacting with the server, we need to specify what type of content you're going to retrieve from the server. So there you need to specify content type as a text, content type as a JSON, content type as a raw content. So at that time, we'll see different. But for the style tag, the only option what we have is text or CSS. Clear, Banu?
So difference between class and ID, please.
Shasmita, we have discussed that many number of times, right? Okay, just to throw a small light on it. Class, class is a CSS class is something called any class name which starts with a dot operator. Okay, we are going to give some set of properties. If you want to inject to particular element, we use the class attribute and define the class name. That's it. Now, when I say ID something starts with hash operator. Anytime in your CSS, if you look into the hash symbol, simply close your eyes and say that it is an ID. Okay. And what is the use of this ID? The advantage is if any element is already having an ID. If you see here, where is that guy with an ID? Okay, this guy is already having an ID. Now I don't want to define a separate class with a separate look and feel. Now I can make use of the ID itself in order to define the class. The only problem is if you want to make use of these classes or these properties for some other element, it is not possible because we know that only one element can have the same type of look and feel. If you know that this property can be used for multiple elements, it is always recommended don't go with ID based class, but go with a CSS class so that it can be used any number of times within the page. Okay, so hope everyone is clear now with the 4 different ways of applying the CSS guys. Okay, the next part what I have is, as I said you, yes, go ahead. Okay, yes, you are saying, fine. So the next topic, actually, you know what it has to be? It has to be something called CSS priority. Yesterday, a lot of people have kept a lot of good questions that was, okay, right now you are having 4 different ways. Then fine, what if, can I apply same property or can I apply for the same HTML tag? Can I use all the 4? I want to apply the inline, I want to apply the style, I want to apply the tag name, and I want to apply the class. Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. But okay, if it is possible, which one is going to take the priority? So before talking about the CSS priority, I need to talk about something called as debugging tool. Okay, there is a developer tool I need to discuss so that debugger tool will clearly show you a picture that which one is coming on the priority. Okay, so once I finish this debugging tool, then I will come back to the CSS. Then I will talk about the CSS priorities concept. Okay, for now, CSS priority concept, I'm just parking for now. Okay, we only talked about 4 different ways. That's it. Priorities will be discussed later. So for now, the next topic, what are we going to discuss is something called as DOM structure. But you know one thing, before even DOM, let us talk about the dev tools itself. Okay, debugging tool. Because I need to even show you the DOM also using the debugging tool. Yeah, what is the question, please?
Sir.
Go ahead, please. Anteshwar, please go ahead. I'm waiting.
Sir, you told you will talk about colors before DOM.
Oh, yes. Thanks for reminding that, man. Yes, I need to talk about the color first. Then I go to the debugging tool. Yeah. Anteshwar, you are saying hello, but what is the question? Please go ahead.
Yeah, sir, today is my first class. Is the HTML and CSS over or is CSS started?
Anteshwar, okay. It is your first class. Then I think you need to go with the demo classes. Okay, we already have the video links. Mr. Ramesh will help you in sharing the video links. Okay. Fine. So coming to the topics, right? In fact, among the HTML and CSS, we haven't even finished 2 or 3% also. So you can imagine how much 97% is there. We had almost 6 classes, among which only 3 classes are demo classes. We had only 2 to 3 classes of technology discussed. So it is not finished. A lot of things are there still.
Okay, sir, fine.
Okay.
Sir,
Yeah, fine.
sir, how many classes you did take, sir? Till now,
I will
sir?
be taking Gulshan, for you also it is the first class.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then you should also go to the demo classes once again. But
Actually,
yeah,
sir, Ramesh sir send me sir 5 videos link. That's
no,
it,
that
sir.
is,
I want to
yeah,
confirm to you. How many
yeah.
classes you did take, sir, till now?
Till now, I have taken only 5 classes. That is what the
5
video link
class.
just did. Yes.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
So one more thing, that yesterday's question is still pending from for me. Like I have mailed you the link for the video, and it was remaining that CSS property. By CSS property, the backgrounds can be with the multiple colors and all. I have, we had a word yesterday over the chat as well in Telegram.
Okay. Okay. Piyush, can you please remind me before closing the class?
Sure, definitely.
Okay. I am sorry that I'm missing it, but today before closing the class, when I say that before closing, you just remind me, I'll fix your issue.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So fine, guys. So coming to the colors. So thanks for reminding these colors. Whenever we are working with the colors, so say for example, I may say background color, I may say border color, I may say anything I can specify. Okay. Let me talk about something called border also, guys. Say for example, every heading tag, I would like to put some border. Every H3 tag, I would like to put some border to the containers. You know what we do? We use something called as border as the CSS property. Till now, any CSS property we are adding, we are only giving a single value. Color, only one value. Background, single value. Font size, single value. Font family. Anytime you are giving any property, we are giving a single value here. But when we are giving a border, we actually give 3 values here. Value 1, value 2, and value 3. Every 3 value is separated with spaces. Why we are giving the 3 values? Because the first value will specify what is the size of border. The second value will specify what is the type of border. The third value will specify, it's an optional, what is the color of the border. Whenever we are adding a border to the container, we need to specify the size following with the type, following with the color. Now here I say, I would like to have 2 pixels of border. I would like to have solid type of border. I would like to have something called as green color border. Save this guy, come back here, reload the page. Do you see the border being applied for the H3? Yes. So border is the CSS property which will take these 3 values, and here you don't need to mention this guy. If you don't mention any color, by default it will take the color property, green, right? So green will be taken automatically, or else if you want to change it, then you can specify it. But size and type are mandatory. Type right now it is solid, but I want to say something called as dotted. Okay, now if you come back, reload here, see dotted type of border is coming. I want to say something called as dashes. Okay, dashed. Okay, now if you come back and reload the page, you see dashed. So you can actually change the type of the border that you need to specify here. And one more thing is, whenever we say border, automatically all the 4 sides, all the 4 directions, it is going to get applied. Okay, if you see, top is getting applied, left is getting applied, right is getting applied, and bottom is getting applied. If you want to control, I'm not interested for all the 4, I want only the top direction. You simply say border hyphen top. Now, if you save this guy, reload the page, this is how it is. I want to change the bottom with a different color, dashed. I want to say border right, which is 2 pixel, something called as solid, and I say something called as some pink. See here, top I'm giving a different value, bottom right I'm giving a different value. See here, is it is happening? Yes. Okay, actually it is pink, it is getting added. I mean, instead of pink, let me say blue. Okay, now if you come back and reload the page, you see here at the right side, you should be able to see a blue border. So you can control all the 4 directions the way you want it. If you simply say border, By default, it will take for all the 4 directions. Okay, so border is the new CSS property. Okay, so coming back to our colors discussion. Anytime we are going to apply the color, till now, what are we doing? Say something called as color, background or border color or foreground color, anything, whatever you go for. I say color, red color. Obviously, the foreground is red. If you want to change it to pink, blue, white, green, yellow, etc., etc. Can you name any color in the universe, guys? Obviously, we cannot, right? We agree that in the universe, millions and trillions of colors are there. In the universe, millions and trillions of colors are there. Can you name each and every color? No. I know maximum of 10 or 20 colors. What about the other colors if you wanted? That is the reason anytime you go with the color, you can go with something called as RGB, red, green, and blue. Do you guys agree? In the universe, any color can be obtained by mixing the red and a piece of green and a piece of blue. Is it possible or not?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, right?
Yes,
In the
sir.
universe, any color can be obtained by mixing a bit of green, a bit of red, and a bit of blue. That is the reason whenever you are working with the colors, you can simply say RGB, open braces and close braces. Under that, you specify a value for red, a value for green, a value for blue. Okay. Now I say something called as 12. I say something called as 13. I say something called as 200. What do you mean by this? 12th level of red, green of 13th level, and blue of 200 level will be mixed. Output will be the color what you wanted. Okay, output will be the mix of all this color. Let's take an example. Say, for example, for the body tag, we are using this tag base, right? Instead of gray color, I say RGB. Okay, I say when everything is 0, that is equal to black. You see here, all are 0, that is equal to black. Okay, now I say if everything is, okay, I'll say something called as 20. This is something called as 50. This is something called as 90. Now, if you reload the page, what is the color you got? Some or the other color you got it, background color. By mixing all the 20th level of green, red, 50th level of green, 90th level of blue. Now, if you ask me a question, boss, you are saying 20, 50, 90. Can I say 1 million, 2 million, 1 crore, 1 lakh, 1,000 and all? No, boss. The minimum value each and every color can be given is between 0 to 255. Okay, the minimum and maximum values are 0 to 255. When I say 255, this is 0 and this is 0. What do you mean by this, guys? Obviously, it will be the red color. What are we saying? 100% red need to be added. No green, no blue. Obviously, it will be red. If you say this is 0, now I say 255. What is the background color now?
Green.
Obviously, green. Reload the page. It is going to be green. Oh my God, guys. Too much of background noise. Okay, so now that is the reason anytime you are specifying the value, make sure you give the value only between 0 to 255. Now, if you reload the page, some or the other value has come. Okay, so this is first way. Whenever the second way, whenever you want to change the colors, either you can make it as direct color name or RGB. The third option, what you have is color, something called as hash code. Okay, so what do you mean by hash code? Hash code means, before talking about the hash code, do you guys have any idea of ASCII? Anyone?
American Standard.
American Standard Information
Code
Institute.
for Information Interchange. Isn't it?
American Standard Information Interchange.
Yeah, that's nice. So you would have heard about the ASCII in your very, very basics, like when you're learning about the computers, people would have talked about something called, boss, there is something called as a binary language where System doesn't understand every character or numbers what you give. System only understands a binary language, which is in the form of zeros and ones. Okay. So in that case, when I'm giving this A, B, C, D, X, Y, Z, 1, 2, 3, 4, how come the system is taking? System will take all these characters. It will be taking for every character what is being present inside your keyboard. It is assigning a ASCII value for that. There is a numeric number being assigned. Okay. So whenever you say something called as A, small a, it is going to be 65. When I say capital A, it is going to be 97. Like that, every character is going to have the ASCII value. Now what I'm saying is, when you say hash code, I say hash AB C2 1A. You know what? How many characters I'm giving here? It is 6 characters. Internally, it is again dividing this guy into 3 parts, where AB indicates red, C2 indicates green, 1A indicates blue. It will take the character code of A, ASCII value of B. Now it will be having the value between 0 to 255. It will take C, ASCII value. It will take 2 ASCII value, take the value of between 0 to 255. In the same way, 1A. So the maximum characters you can give for a hash code is 6 characters, where each 2 characters belongs to again red, green, blue only. Okay. So now let us see here. I come out here instead of red, green, and blue. And guys, remind me, after this guy, I'm going to talk something called as comments. Okay. Please remind me if I miss it. Okay. So coming to the background, I will say I want to give the hash code. Hash. Okay. I say A1, B3, CC, something like this I have given. Now, if you come back and reload the page here, see, some or the other color, you got it. So this is how, whenever you are giving the colors, either you can give the direct color or the RGB or the hash code. There is another thing called as RGBA, which is equal to opacity. But for that, first of all, I need to talk about the opacity. Then I will come to the RGBA property. Okay. Now, you might have a question. Boss, being a UI developer, do I need to know the RGB value of every other color in the universe? Not at all. Whenever there is a markup being given to you, you will be given an option. They will be automatically giving you what is the hash code of this guy, what is the RGB value. They will automatically give it. In the interview, no one is going to ask you that give me the RGB value of so and so color, give me the hash code of so and so color. Not at all. Okay. And another thing is, say for example, when the color is something called as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the C's, which is equal to gray color. You see here, you should be able to see the things as a gray color. Anytime all the characters within the hash code are same, in that case, you can give only 3 values. That's it. That is the only shortcut you have. The maximum number of, not the maximum, you can give only 6 characters for a hash code. If it is 3 characters, it means all the characters are same. Then you can make it as a 3 characters. Okay. And whenever I'm adding this hash code or RGB, not only in background, say for example, in case of border, I want to say RGB, something called 2, 3, 6, something like this. You can give it. Anywhere you go with the color, either it is a background, either it is a color, anywhere you are using a color, that can be used in all these different ways. Any questions?
Sir, either only... Hello, sir.
Go ahead, Suman.
Sir, only either we have to use 3 or 6 characters, like 5 or
Yes.
like that we
No,
can't
it is not
use.
possible. Either it should be 3 and it has to be 3. If it is 3, you can blindly say that all the characters are same.
The hash code which is there, it is also called as hexa, I guess.
You can say that.
Okay. So there are, I guess, 3 types of code, color code we uses, right?
For now, it is 3, but when I come to the RGBA, it will be 4.
Okay.
Hello, sir.
Next.
Sir, it should be between 0 to 225.
255.
255. When
Yes.
it is like taking a ASCII value, how come we know that it is taking the value between 0 to 255?
Wow, that's a great question, Pravita. That's an intelligent question. Okay, now if you give something called as Z, Z, Z or X, Z, was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You see, oh, sorry, not here. These things doesn't work here actually. When you give, come back here, and where is the background? Say, for example, you're giving this. You reload the page. What you got? Is it considering that? No. If it is coming out of it, then it will not be. I mean, whenever you give the value above 255, it doesn't even consider. Browser doesn't even consider. Now, when you're giving this X and so, that is actually going beyond the 255. That is the reason it doesn't get applied. Now, the next question what you have is, how do we know? That is the reason you are not defining the hash code here, or you are not defining the hash code values. It is already existing, you're simply making use of it. You know one thing, there is actually a lot of tools available who will let you know. Say, for example, someone asked you, boss, there is something called as Amazon.in. I want to have this color, whatever this elephant color is there, right? I want that color. Do you know what is that? No. Let me show you one thing. There is a different way. How do you do that? I will do it later, but I can get the hash code of it. You know how? Where is that color picker? Come on, man. There is a color picker. It should be somewhere here. Why it is not there? Okay, fine. Let me show it in the Firefox.
Sir, Firefox.
So for the Chrome, you need to install a plugin for that. So if you see, when I go with the Amazon.in, when I go with the inspect, yeah. So if you see, I want the same background. Where is the elephant? Okay. So now I can take this guy. If you see here, when I'm clicking on this, see at the bottom, whenever I'm taking this guy, is it not giving me the hash code of every color wherever I'm monitoring? See here, there is a small parachute. Even that color also I can get it. Now I want the color of elephant here. Copy this. Now if you come back and back to paste this guy here. Now if you see, are you defining the hash code here? No, I'm just making use of the existing hash code. Now let us refresh our page. Not this guy. This is the guy. Reload the page. Do you got the same color as like elephant color? Yes. You are not defining it, ma'am. That is the reason I said you don't need to be expertise on defining the hash codes of every other color. Some colors, like if it is all 0, it is black. All FFF, it is white color. All CCC, which is gray color. That is more than enough. Remaining all, we need to take from external tools. They will tell you what is the hash code of so-and-so color.
Sir, one doubt.
Did I answer your question, Pravita?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Hello,
go ahead,
sir.
Samana. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sir. Here you used hash 90 or something, right, sir? So that hash, does it come under the color combination, or is it?
No.
Is that how we should
Hash
declare it?
is an indicator. That's it. Hash following the values, automatically system will understand that that is a hash code. Hash is not a part of the color.
And
it's the indicator.
Sir, we can also have all numbers also, right?
Yes.
Or
You
is
can have
it compulsory that we should have at least one alphabet?
No. That is what I said. I mean, if I say all zeros, it is black, right?
Yeah.
So you can have anything, but whatever the value you get, that will be added as a, so-and-so part of your color. That's it. It's not mandatory.
We can also give a color without the hash, right?
Sorry, what was that?
We can also give the color without the hash, right?
If it is a hash code, without hash, you cannot give it, right? If it is a color, directly say background blue, no color, no hash code. RGB, no hash code. But if you're giving a hash code, then it should start with a hash. No option.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Next.
Sir, I have a question. In RGB, the arguments will be in minus value also. Can we give?
Oh, that's a good question, Neeraj. Actually, we don't give the minus values.
Why, sir? If we give, then what's happened?
That is what, right? When I say the range between R and G and B, if I say that the RGB is only 0 to 255, we cannot go minus values, right? The rule what we have defined already is the maximum limit is between 0 to 255. That's it.
Okay, fine, sir.
Clear? Yeah. Next.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, go ahead,
Sir.
Jyoti Prakash.
Sir, there may be HSL color.
Sorry, what was that color?
HSL, hue, saturation, lightness.
Lightness, that is where we actually go with the RGBA. I said you right, which
No, sir.
we haven't.
I want to say the HSL color, hue, saturation, and lightness.
I'm not very much clear about that, Prakash. Can you please ping me that? Maybe I can explore and I can let you know.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, and while giving this background color, as you have given hash 9D0148. So this will be the means the hash code and the given numeric and alphabetic. So it is mandatory, like this should be in the same way, like the numerics and this should the alphabets should be in standardized way, or it is like we can change this all.
I don't know why you guys are very much confused with the hash code. Right? It's very simple. Hash code always starts with a hash. Very simple. We need to give two values, where the result of the two values should be between 255. Doesn't matter whether you make use of a combination of numbers or characters, you use anything, but the output what you need to get is 0 to 255. As simple as it is.
Okay.
No standards. Clear, Piyush? Yeah, next.
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Go ahead, Mayur. Mayur, go ahead.
can you show that Amazon debugging tool? That what you
That tool I will tell you, Mayur. Okay, anyway, okay, let me show you. Actually, I was about to talk about the debugging tool, but it's okay. Once you have this rightmost click on this, inspect, there is something called as a color picker here. You click on this, you go anywhere within the page. You see Amazon arrow is there. Click on that. It will automatically copy the value for you. Now, if you paste that guy, you got the hash code of it. Okay, fine, guys. So this is about the colors. I'll just pause for the discussion of the technical discussion for now. Let us start something called how do we actually go with the GitHub desktop? Yeah, someone asked me a question. Please go ahead.
Sir, you're talking about comment.
Sir,
what about comment, sir? Sir, what about comment?
Yeah, okay. 1 second. Thanks for reminding. Any other than comments, any question?
Yes, sir. The code that you have written now in this in the Sublime Text, sir, can this code will be available in GitHub, sir?
Yeah, after every class, I'm actually doing that. Banu, is it Banu who asked this question? Or?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Jay, every day. Now, if you see here, you go to the GitHub, github.com. You go into the UI classes. Everyone who is having an access of this, go into the 8 p.m. Go into see here. Until yesterday, I have already submitted. Once after the class is done, I make sure I will submit the code of each and every particular folder. If I mistakenly miss it, you please remind me. I will do that.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So one thing, guys, let us. Yeah, go ahead, ma'am. Yeah, go ahead.
Sir, you are providing code part only, right, sir? If you are saying that what is CSS, what is tags and all, about that information, where we have to get, sir?
Ma'am, if you go into the UI classes folder, under the 8 p.m. folder, there is something called as a notes. Under that, there are 3 versions of the notes. But for now, go into the version 1. Okay, every other 2 notes is my notes only, but in different format they have given. If you have some time, you can go. Now I'm going with the notes version 1. You go with, right now we are not into the backend, so we are into the web development front end. Click on these guy. Okay, or else instead of clicking, you can simply go with the download. Okay, now I got downloaded. Now, if you simply double click on this guy, you should able to see every part, whatever we have discussed. We have seen what do you mean by full stack? Okay, what are the technologies which are coming? This UI also what we discussed. And coming later, you see what is a HTML, what is the structure of a HTML, what is the use of each and every tag, what are HTML attributes, okay, what is a simple web page, how the output is coming. So this is already part of this, ma'am. And how do you use the style attribute? What is a CSS class? ID based class, every other thing, whatever we are discussing in the class, it is already part of the notes, ma'am. Did I answer your question, Chandana?
Thank you,
Sir, you have not explained the divide span tag, right? Div tag and span tag.
It is not yet come, ma'am. That is actually block level and inline. The topic has not yet come.
Sir, what is RGBA?
RGBA is red, green, blue along with the opacity. So there is something called as opacity, which we call it as a transparency. But I haven't talked anything about the transparency. That is the reason I'm parking the RGBA. I'll talk later.
Hello, sir.
Excuse me, sir.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, can you just
Excuse me,
open the
sir.
untitled page in that which you represented hash code with 6 dots? So if I want to represent the center 2 dots with 1, then 0 must come to the left or right?
Obviously, it should be 0, right?
Okay.
It should be 0.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, next.
Sir, do you have any shortcuts in Sublime Text for colors, sir?
Actually, not the shortcuts. There are actually plugins. But openly speaking, instead of this plugin, when you go into the VS Code, you have better plugins. That is the reason we soon, when we go to the VS Code, then I can go with the plugins. Okay, fine, guys.
Sir, excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, go ahead, Neeraj.
Sir,
Sir,
can we
sir,
have? Sir, can we have the
sir,
fourth?
send.
Neeraj, go ahead, please.
Sir, can we give a fourth argument as opacity in RGBA?
Actually, that is what, right? But I haven't talked about the opacity. That is the reason I was not talking. In general, what we actually give is, we say something called 0.2. But if you ask me, I will give the 0.2. Now it will be getting affected. But you will be asking me, what do you mean by 0.2? Then I need to talk about what do you mean by opacity. But before talking about the opacity, I need to talk about the transparency level. That is the reason I'm not doing this. Okay.
Fine, sir.
Sir, hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, suppose I want to give border top and border bottom, same things, 2 pixel dash red, and border right and left, same things. Then I can use the shortcut, or for that I will use for once border top, then border bottom, then border right or left.
Okay, that's a good question, Sonali. But yes, if you have the same type of border for the left and right, you need to specify border hyphen right and border hyphen left. There is no shortcut for that.
Thank you.
Sir, when you are typing in the Sublime editor, you are getting automatically some items like you're typing title, then you are automatically getting the style and all. I am unable to in that in my Sublime editor.
Okay, you simply say, I say div tag. When I say tab, once you write the tag name, press on tab, then it will automatically fill it. Any tag. Okay, so guys, before going for the next questions, let us finish
Sir.
the guys,
Sir, excuse me, sir.
Go ahead, Gulshan.
Sir, sir, Git in the chat box.
Gulshan, somehow your voice is. Can you please chat?
Sir, I am talking, sir. Kindly send the link of GitHub, sir, in the chat box, sir.
Okay, sure, I can do that. Okay, guys, can anyone please share the GitHub link so that Gulshan can take it from here? Okay, so guys,
I will,
one
sir.
more thing. Okay, thanks. So let us go for the GitHub desktop part, guys. Till now, anytime you are looking into the piece of code, I'm asking you guys to go into the GitHub desktop. Sorry, I'm asking you to go to the github.com URL. Where is that? Okay, and you are actually going through the links. Again, here you are checking. Say, for example, today I have already submitted the code. Now, what you have to do? Go to the 8 p.m. code. Say, for example, September 23rd. Now I have the CSS HTML. Now you need to copy this file or download this file. Now you need to run the code in your local machine. That is a painful job. Why don't you have the same structure in your local machine? If you see my local code, do I have all the files, whatever I'm talking, in my local machine itself, boss? Yes. So in that case, why don't we also have a copy of the GitHub code into your local machine so that you can get the latest code and you can even submit the code also. So as you are the collaborators, I already made you as a collaborator of my project. So you should able to have a local copy of the code, whatever I have inside my GitHub. So let us see how you could able to do that using the GitHub desktop. So hope yesterday I have said you guys to install the GitHub desktop. Hope everybody is ready with that.
Yes, sir.
Sir, it is asking permission, like personal info.
Yes, sir.
Okay, 1 second, guys. Can anyone who can be a volunteer so that I can do the changes in your machine? Anyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Jay, you want to?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so Jay, I'm making Jay as a co-host. Guys, please follow the steps what actually I'm going to do inside the Jay's mission so that you can follow the same type of steps here. Okay, so Jay, can you please go ahead and sharing your screen?
Yes.
So please clearly follow, guys. Right now, everybody got the GitHub access. If no one haven't got it, please ping me in the Telegram. Okay, nice bike, Jay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sir, find code project and problem on GitHub code.
1 second. Let us finish this, then I will come to that. Okay, Jay, it is not Sublime actually. Please close this and open the, what do you say? What do you say?
GitHub.
Yeah, open the GitHub desktop. Jay, I think I missed your tagline. Can you please minimize this? I want to see the desktop once.
Yes.
You are saying that school ruined my life. I mean, it is not like after UI classes, you don't say that UI classes ruined my life.
No, sir, not like.
Yeah, okay, go ahead to the GitHub desktop, please.
Yes.
Okay, 1 second, guys. So if you see here, first thing is, when Jay is opening his github.com, he could able to see the content, like he has an access for this. Super fine. Now, what is his expectation is, he should able to get this content into his local machine. So how we will get it out? Please open the GitHub desktop.
Sir, please GitHub code.
Let me finish this. Okay.
8:30
No, not here. GitHub desktop. Remember yesterday I asked you to install GitHub desktop. Have you
Sir,
done
I
it?
share. Yes, sir, I share.
Okay. Can you please open the GitHub desktop? Not
Yes,
here.
sir.
Installation.
Sir,
I already installed, sir.
Sir, I have GitHub
Sir, I
desktop,
didn't
sir.
install.
1 second, guys. As already Jay has already sharing, right? So let's do it in Jay's machine.
Yes, sir. Shall I install now, sir?
Okay. Please open the browser. Go for GitHub desktop. Download. Enter. The first one.
This one.
First, yeah, that is also fine. Okay, can you please go down? Okay, download for Windows 64-bit. Yours is 64-bit, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
I
right.
think you need to click on the first step. There is something called as visit the download page. First step, yeah. Okay, click on the download for Windows. Okay. So if anyone missed in installing, please do it now. And please get ready with your system so that you can also parallelly do the changes. If something issue is there, let me know. And one more thing, GitHub desktop only works for the 64-bit, not for 34-bit. Okay, can you please open that guy? The installation is very simple step process. Next process.
Sir, I heard about GitHub Push, sir. What is that?
There is something called as GitHub Push. There is something called as Git. Oh my God, what is that? There is something called as command prompt Git also. But those all are different versions we have. We can use any other thing. But this is the simplest way. You don't need to learn any of the commands here. Just a UI based, you can do that. Okay. So if you see here, guys, he got installed with this guy. He's saying that welcome to GitHub desktop.
This GitHub?
Sorry, what was that?
What for this we require GitHub?
Guys, I think I was talking about the, okay, you are not there, right? Okay, I will
Yeah.
talk about that, Antisha. I think you are the very first class, right? Actually,
Yes,
yesterday I
sir.
already talked about it. 1 second, let me do, maybe after I do the GitHub pulling into his local machine, you will understand that. Okay. So guys, hope everybody could able to see the screen where it is saying like, welcome to GitHub desktop and signing into github.com. Please click on signing into github.com.
Yes.
It will redirect you to the browser. Okay.
Yes.
Why this Opera is coming? Okay. Now allow. No, cancel it. Okay. Now you please give your UID and password of your github.com. Okay. Now, please verify your email address, access for email, continue verification was sent to. Okay, that's fine. You can come back to your GitHub desktop again. Okay, it is still signing it. Why so? Okay, can you go back to the web page? Configure is not needed. Okay.
I think email verification is pending. Email verification on the top it is showing.
Okay, please click on that. Maybe let's see that. Configure email settings. But actually it is not needed, I'm sure. But okay, let's try. Configure email settings. Okay, go down. Recent. You are not verified. Okay, maybe you can say recent verification email. Okay, now you can open your email through your mobile and you can say confirm.
Yes. Sir, I am getting like this that it is sending me launch code, sir.
Yeah, you can please launch it.
Sir, please close the GitHub desktop and restart. Then you will ask for launch code.
Okay, you close this browser and close the GitHub desktop also. Now you try to launch the GitHub desktop again. Let's try that.
Okay.
Close the GitHub desktop. One second. Okay, you clicked on it or it automatically? Verified email address. So you know the problem is resend your verification email. Okay, click on that.
Sir, mine is showing authorized GitHub desktop. GitHub desktop by desktop. Repositories. Personal user data. He's GitHub desktop want to authorize desktop.
Okay, before you can contribute to GitHub, we need to verify your email address and email containing verification. Yeah, I mean, if that is fine, Robin, sorry, Jay, is it is possible you can show your email if you don't have anything personal?
Yeah, sir, nothing personal.
Can you please open it now? I want to see like what is the verification mail you got.
Sir, if it's not working, then simply skip this step. From further,
But anyway, later also you need to log in, right?
From the main page, we can log in.
Yeah, let us see. I mean, this is the final time. I mean, if it is not, then we can. I think, Jay, is it the same email? I don't see the mail here. No, not that is the one. Not that guy. Okay, this is the one. 1 second. 2 minutes ago, right? Okay, here is the. So, can you please scroll down? Okay, open GitHub. Click on open GitHub. Now you add that code, whatever you have got.
Yes, sir, just a second.
257433.
It is taking you to a different world. Okay, nice. Now, can you please go to the GitHub desktop? Digit cart GitHub desktop, please. How much time it will take to sign in?
Close it and again open.
Okay, maybe you.
Mine is installed, sir. If you want
Okay,
to.
you do one thing. Can you please skip this step? Please skip on this step. Okay, open the GitHub desktop. Let's final time, guys. Okay, skip the step at the bottom. Okay, now you give your email ID, your name. Okay, email ID, please. The email ID with you got registered with GitHub.
Sir, are we supposed to clone the UI classes repository?
You are not supposed to. You can only access my content, but on the top, if you want to create your own repository, you can always do that.
Yeah,
And
yes.
I'm going to give you a folder of assignments and all. There you can do the changes, because this is like a public folder everyone will be using, right? That is the reason. Okay, fine. So now he is here, guys. Now the first option, what you need to do is click on file. Guys, everyone please follow it. On the top, there is a file option. Go for something called as clone repository. The option of cloning means take a copy of the GitHub code, whatever you have, into the local machine. That is what this action means. Click on the clone repository. Okay, go to the URL. Okay, now you can go for sign in here. Continue with browser. Okay, go down. Open GitHub desktop. Okay, now you got filtered. Now if you see, you could able to see the repositories. Now go to the file option again. On the top, file option, clone repository. Okay, now it is asking you have one of the repository. If you have multiple repositories, it will be showing it. But now he can say that, okay, I want the Durga Prasad UI folder. Under that, there is a UI classes folder. I want to clone those content into my local machine. How we can do that? Simply click on the bottom, Durga Prasad UI classes, click on that. Okay, now if you see at the bottom, it is showing an option to you. Boss, don't click on the button. So if you see here, it is saying a path. Boss, I'm going to go for C drive, users folder, so-and-so documents, GitHub UI classes. That is where I'm going to do that. But it is not recommended. I want to go with a separate folder. Please go for the choose option. So maybe, yeah, what is the folders you have? Maybe C drive, E drive.
Yeah. Shall I create a new one, sir?
Yeah, please create a new folder in a separate drive where you can track all your UI classes content. Here itself you can create, Jay.
Where's
you need to go over there. And I recommend don't go with the desktops where you want to create your GitHub repository. It is recommended go with the C drive. Can you please go down? What are the drives you have? Scroll down, please. Okay, I think you have only C drive. Okay, please click on the C drive. Okay, maybe you can create a new folder. On the top, there is a new folder option, right? Okay, click on new folder. Okay, you say UI Git, UI underscore Git. Anytime you're giving the folder names, don't give any spaces, guys. Always UI underscore Git. GIT. Okay, click on open. Okay, select. Okay, now if you see what it is saying is, he is about to clone the GitHub content into his C drive, UI underscore Git, UI classes. Okay, click on clone button. Now you go and see what is there under the C drive UI Git folder. Open the folder parallelly. C drive. UI Git, UI classes. If you see, I mean, it is still going on. Just wait for some time. Go back to the GitHub desktop. Is it finished or still doing? It is still doing. So with this step, he could able to get all the Git code, whatever the code which is present, 8M batch, 730 batch, whatever the batch code examples, every other thing is in his machine now. He should able to see that.
Sir, suppose we can do this daily. The files are coming same as.
Sorry, what was that?
Daily we have to clone it, sir, by opening the Git desktop.
Cloning is one-time process, but you need to sync with. So, okay, for today, I have added. From tomorrow, I'm going to add some new file. You go to the GitHub desktop, simple option. I will show you. How do you pull the data? Just a simple option. In a second, it will be finishing. You have the latest code. Someone else is asking a question. What was that? Some files regarding you're saying someone? No? Okay.
Suppose we can do this cloning UI classes, right? Suppose tomorrow we can say, suppose we can do this cloning classes right now today. Suppose we can do this tomorrow. Same files are received. Only tomorrow classes are received, sir.
Only tomorrow class will be there. It will make sure the GitHub desktop. That is the reason we have chosen the GitHub desktop guy. That guy is completely aware of what is not matching with your system with the GitHub. Whatever it is not matching, that is what he will take it out and he will keep it in. And that is the guy who is going to help you in future to take your local code and push into the GitHub also.
Hello, sir. So,
is there class on tomorrow, sir?
No, as I already said you, we'll be back on Monday.
Monday, okay, sir. Thank you.
So, sir?
Yes, go ahead.
Sir, I cloned the UI classes. The only one class I downloaded. The remaining or not came.
No, everything has to come.
Yeah, just
okay, let me once J is done, then I can ask you to share your screen. Okay. So now if you see here, guys, he is done with this. Now, can you please minimize that? And if you see here, under his UI Git classes, could he able to see the list of all the folders? Now, Jay, can you please go into the 8 PM folder? Does he see the notes folder, the September 21, 22, 23, all the content is into his local machine now. So this is how, now if we want to execute what September 23 happened, can you please open the September 23 folder? Now he can do the changes, whatever he want, he can actually do the changes onto this. This is how the GitHub desktop is helpful. So someone asked me, right, why we are using this GitHub desktop? This is the reason. Now you don't need to go to the github.com and there you need to download the changes. No. But one main thing you need to understand is under the batch 8 PM folder, you please don't do any changes. For example, yesterday example, whatever I have done, you want to add some changes and you want to see how it is working. Take a copy of that local into somewhere because the changes what you do are going to affect others who, under the GitHub complete repository. So take a copy of that guy into local. That is where you need to work. And one more thing, let me show you one. Okay, or else like for today, you take the local copy into the local machine. In the tomorrow's class, I'm going to show you how do you sync the code into the local machine also. Okay. Okay. Thanks, Jay, for coming forward and showing this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyone else? I think before going for everyone, I think I've made Piyush to wait for a long time. So Piyush, can we go into the issue? What you're saying?
Yes, sir. So thank you for that. Actually, I was creating one website. Into that, there was a background which was having multiple. If you see in the video, multiple color shades are given. Means the color somewhere it is given navy blue color. Above that also, under that it was white. Then it was light gray. Again, it
Piyush,
was.
one second. Piyush, I made you as a co-host. Is it possible you can share your screen? Easy for you to understand.
Yes, sure.
And for others, guys, I'm already done with the today's discussion. If you are fine, you can sign out. If you have any questions, you can stay back. I can talk.
Sir, I still have a doubt about why inline style sheet is not recommended and why tag is not recommended, sir. Sorry, not only tag. Why tag is not recommended, sir?
Inline, you're clear, ma'am?
Inline clear, sir.
Okay, ma'am. Say for example, we both are working on a project. Assume we both are working on a project. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now you have created a page where you have created the H3 with not only H3, some paragraph tag, you have added some tag based CSS. Okay. Now, when I come to my, you have given that, okay, boss, you continue doing something else on the same page, same HTML page. Now, if I use the P tag, what is going to happen? If I use the P tag, is it going to have the same type of look and feel or not?
Yes, sir.
But I don't want it. Why should I have to follow the same rules what you have given? I want to go with my own different way, right? Because maybe one paragraph what you are showing is something else. Maybe it is a header. I want to show something called as a footer with a different colors and different. Why should I follow? If I use the P tag, automatically your changes will come, right? I don't want it.
Sir, I just have
Okay,
one
please,
doubt, sir, for inline.
One second,
Yeah.
Surya. One second, Surya. Piyush, can you please go ahead on that? What is the issue you have?
Yes, sir. So this is what the website means. Just a demo part which is given to me. In this, we can see like there is when we are hovering at the menu, it is looking like this, like a platform. All this menu is there. After hovering, it is going on white. Again, then below that there is one section which is background is navy blue, but below that we have a white background, a bit of it. Then a light gray background color, again white, and again it's going like navy blue, and this type of sections are there. And here we have one of the diagonal section which is given here with this color.
That is an SVG tag. Okay, so your expectation is same container, how it got multiple backgrounds, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me stop you. Let me share my screen.
Sure.
Okay, as you are asking out of bounds, guys, don't get confused. These are the things. I mean, with his interest, he is doing something. Let me explain it. I'm just creating an example to just answer his question. If you don't have an idea, leave it out. I will anyway. I'm going to talk about all of this in the coming classes. Now I say something called a sample.html. You know what is actually there? It is not a single container. The very first thing is it is not a single container. There are multiple containers which got added over there. Let me show you. Say, for example, I have a div, something called as 1. So there, what he has done is say something called a div guy, which is having the height of some 1200 pixel. Okay, for this guy, I go with a class called as item1, class called as item2. So I can say okay. So now if I run this browser, do you see I have a green guy? When I go down, I have a gray guy. I'm going down. I have a yellow guy. I go down. I'm having a pink guy. How come it is happening? You know, internally it is not a single container. You are getting a feeling that it's a single container. You are getting a misassumption that for a single container, he's giving multiple colors. No. For a single container, you can give only a single color. Only option what we have is linear gradient. But other than that, if you are getting like this, in the sense, he's creating multiple containers. If you see, that is what even I have done. I have created 4 of the containers and I'm giving different colors. Now inside this, I may write anything what I wanted. Did you get that, Piyush?
Yes, sir. And in between that, there was one diagonal color which was given over the
That
navy
is-
blue color only at
that
the
is-
bottom.
that is actually the SVG tag. That's a bit of tricky part, which we need to go to the SVG HTML5. Then I'm going to talk about it. Okay.
Okay, sir. Yeah. Thank
Fine.
you for
Hope you're
this.
clear with your questions.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definitely. I'm
Yeah.
clear with
Next, anyone else, guys? Okay. Nikhil also
Sir,
responded by
assignments.
using SVG. What was that?
Assignments, when you will give assignment?
Maybe Saichand, I mean, this weekend you enjoy some time. Maybe from Monday, I'm going to start giving the assignments what need to be done. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Hello, sir. Neeraj
Yes.
here.
Go ahead, Neeraj.
Sir, we are not working with CMD Git.
We are not going to work with CMD. What was that?
So CMD, we run Git command in CMD. We are not working with that.
Neeraj, that is what, right? That is a Git hash we have to make use. But simple way is GitHub desktop, right?
So GitHub desktop, we are not familiar with GitHub commands, or Git commands.
If you want, I mean, that is what, right? I mean, that is again the track will be changed for us now. Now people will again concentrate on, as we have just started. Maybe if you really wanted the Git hash commands also, once you get expertise on this programming, etc. and all, you're familiar with everything, then maybe you can remind me. I can even help you on teaching the Git hash command also. Fine,
Okay,
Neeraj?
fine.
Are we having tomorrow class?
No, our class is only 5 days a week.
Yes. So
Sir,
actually, there was one more assignment I was having. Means one of the website I was having to work on with. So in that, like, I was having a transition issue. So can we discuss it tomorrow if it is free time for you?
I will see Piyush. I mean, mostly I'm not having the time to do tomorrow.
Okay.
I mean, I'm actually going out for some personal work.
Oh, okay.
Ping me. I mean, if I have any time, I will let you know.
Sure,
Okay.
sir. Definitely.
Anyone
Thank
else?
you.
Sir, I just have a small doubt, sir. Sorry not to reply.
Go ahead.
Yeah, sir. Could you repeat why inline tag base is not recommended, sir? Inline
You
base
say
is not.
style attribute, right? You're saying?
Yeah, sir. Inline base is not recommended.
Okay. So if you remember, okay, what we have done on the day one, not on the day one, I think on the day two, when you go into this news items, by looking into this, I haven't added the CSS here. Okay. Go to okay, now if we go here,
So your screen is
Screen
not
share.
visible, sir.
Screen.
Can you please share the screen?
I'm not in the screen share. Okay. So if you see here, by looking into this, it is so clear, right? When I'm saying title has to be in a background yellow, color has to be green, fonts is to be 20 pixel. Let me remove the width for now. Now there are 100 heading tags. Do I need to copy and paste the same properties again or not?
Yes, you have to copy in style. You have to copy every
That
time.
itself is a disadvantage, right? The first disadvantage is unnecessarily duplication of the code, rewriting the piece of code. The second problem, 100 elements are having yellow as a background. Now I ask you, why, Surya, could you please change the yellow background to red color? How many times you need to do the changes?
100 times.
100 items.
Yeah.
That is the second disadvantage. Maintenance is not so easy and unnecessarily duplication of the code. To avoid that, define a single CSS class, make use of it for multiple times. Your job is done. Okay. Are you clear now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So fine, guys. I think
Sir,
we are pretty done.
one thing, sir.
Yeah, go ahead, Suraj.
Sir, today is my third class actually. So, sir, I don't have any access of that GitHub, and I'm not that part of the Telegram group. So, can you please, sir, look into this?
Suraj, I mean, have you got registered already?
Yes, sir. Today only I registered, sir, and
Okay.
I already sent the snapshot to that. Sorry, what's his name? I forgot.
Ramesh?
Yes, sir. Promise. So,
Okay,
can
so could you please remind him once? Mostly he will be doing it by today for sure. If it is still not happened, you can ping me on my Telegram ID. I can check on that. But mostly he will be doing that.
Sir,
For everyone.
Can you provide your Telegram ID, please?
It is at the rate of 158. Okay, I just pinged it.
Okay, sir. I will go.
Okay, so fine, guys. So let's sign off for today.
We are not able to find that one. Your ID, Telegram ID. I'm not able to. I tried actually.
Can you please
I'm
try
not
it,
able to.
Giri? Because earlier I have given mistakenly as Durga Prasad P158. Now it is actually only Durga Prasad 158. Can you please try now?
Oh, yeah, I'll do that. Thank you.
And sir, what's about that GitHub access? Can you please?
That's what I mean. Once you are added into the Telegram group, then I will be taking your ID. I'm going to provide you the access.
Okay, then fine, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, fine, guys. Have a good day and bye for today and happy weekend.
Thank you, sir. Bye. Have a
You too,
good